So over the weekend, you might have been tuned into Frosty Faustings. I really enjoyed this major, and 2xKO was the one of the headlining tournaments at this event here, and for good reason, because this 2xKO tournament had $50,000 in pricing at it, and it actually had a really fun top 8. A lot of good storylines coming out of this top 8. Things like Sonic Fox and Inzum as a duo going up in this bracket, getting a 5th place finish. It was funny to watch 2 people go up against 1 and see that dynamic live on stage. Of course, we have Bleed, 16 years old, first ever offline major, taking the grand prize with this Ekko and Alawi. But to be honest, I think the main takeaway was this guy right here. The insanity that Ekko can bring to 2xKO. And if you're anything like me, you might have been watching certain parts of this top 8 and saw sequences like this and wondered what the hell was going on.
It's so hard to even visually confirm what's happening in the moment there as we get the limit strike into the lob.
And there's the parry, goes mid afterwards, and Ekko's in a bad spot here. How do you save him even from chip? This is going to be a big factor here. Ekko just gets chipped out. No.
So aside from my camera obviously blocking half of what's going on screen, what is happening when Ekko is on screen doing his install and going ham? What is going on there? And this was a big part of the top 8 as there was this edit going around on Twitter where they compiled every single install Oki situation, I think from just Supernoon versus Bleed. This is a full minute and 38 seconds of a compilation of every time they did the knockdown into the lob, into this super install. And it doesn't even show the consequences, which is insane mix, chase down on the tech rolls, combo conversions, and all sorts of offensive nonsense. So watching this, I'm like, what do you do about this? What is the counterplay? You just have to take this. What is going on with this Ekko install? And so you know what I figured? Who better to break down exactly the depths of degeneracy that 2xKO can offer and how ham and offensive and messed up Ekko can get than the man himself. On stream today, we're going to be welcoming EVO finalist, multi-fighting game champion, and Frosty Fausting second place, and the man to single-handedly revive Evil Genius's fighting game division. We're bringing onto the stream today EG Supernoon to break down exactly how degenerate 2xKO can get so that you and I can both understand what's going on, what the hell is happening with this game. So the next time you watch a 2xKO top 8, you can be better informed at the level of mix and defense and offense these players are putting up. So let's go ahead and get Supernoon on the call here.
Hello.
What's good? What up, Noon?
Yo, what's up, dude? How you doing?
Doing very good, man. How are you doing? I don't know. Did you catch my promo I cut for you?
I did. It was pretty good. It's pretty good. I can't complain. Yeah.
What I figured would be cool, for my own understanding, and maybe to help be a little bit of a guide for people watching the game, I want you to show me how busted this can get, just how messed up this can get, and also to go into the weeds a little bit for the Ekko install Oki as well, and to break down maybe your team and freestyle and all that. I want to understand how nasty this can get, and maybe a little bit of a primer for people to understand the craziness that's going on. So before we get into it, can you break down a little bit of why you chose your team? You do. What is your team and why did you choose it?
Yeah. So basically, the idea behind this team is Darius. He's pretty straightforward, right? I think he's kind of like this game's Shoto, basically. But the real juice is kind of like his back assist. The reason why that's really cheap is because basically, if you block it, it disables all defensive mechanics. And that's pretty crazy.
Interesting. And so basically, his assist helps enable Ekko going ham. Is that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So
okay.
So that's kind of the methodology of it starting is I'm gonna just kind of max it out, doing stuff like that all the time. There's a lot of if you just block, the first rendition we playing this team is just a lot of doing this and then just doing stuff right, stuff like that, or this.
Okay.
Yeah, just stuff like that. But the more I played, it's I can make this even more simple and stronger, right? So it's kind of the win condition kind of became, okay, I'm gonna use this in neutral. So if you get hit by this, right, it's bang, and I can miss the hit confirm, I can run up, I can do stuff like that. Oh, I missed it, cool.
Oh, so
right,
pick up. Okay.
Yeah, and still get a combo and stuff like that.
Interesting.
It's funny because this assist is really strong, but I kind of strayed away from using it a lot in favor of an assist like this, because basically if you block, right? So if you block this, you kind of get close up and you get to do crazy stuff like that, right?
I'd like to roll it back a little bit because even just that basic sequence, like the one you did with the Apprehend, where you set up I call it the sandwich. I don't know what else people call it, where you sandwich between and then you start tagging back and forth. Like that alone already is kind of nuts to most people. So, and I that ties into rather your freestyle fuse, right? Because that allows you an extra tag so you can go swap back and forth. So can you like break down a little bit about like what you're doing to set up the sandwich and then the layers there and why it's so good?
Yeah, so a mix-up, kind of as simple as like, all right, we're playing neutral, right? And then ID something like this. And then now, Ekko, so pretty much what I did was, you make contact, call sis, right? Very basic like tag game thing. And then after, I use the plus frames I have from doing something like this. Ekko has a roll through move, right? So I just keep the block string up with like hitting a normal, and then canceling into down forward SC, which is his roll.
Okay.
And then basically what that does is, because I called my sis, roll through this, right? And now you're sandwiched, I can just like tag back, right? So
I got mixed.
Right? Yeah, scenario something like this, and because I'm playing freestyle, you get 2 tags, right? So then we get to like do something crazy, and there's a lot of layers that you can do from there, right? So an example of that is like if I were to just do a set, bang, and then Darius has an overhead, tag back, confirm, right? And then like I can control if I want this to be left, right with like the tag, mess around, and then like go low, confirm. I can even do something like
whoa,
tag back to throw.
Wait,
right?
hold on. What happened there on the throw?
Yeah, so you block, right? And because I can like, it's basically just like a tick throw, and then I can just tag back on like successful throw hit, and then combo with Ekko.
So instead of continuing the block string with Darius, you're just stopping short using that block stone to set up a tick throw instead. With all that visual clutter on the screen, and then you're able to convert from that because you can tag back into Ekko to convert?
Yep, exactly.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, so like even something really big, like if you just block, like, so I could just do something like, this is like something more advanced, right? I'm using like 7 different mechanics there, but yeah, like it can get pretty crazy. So in the most like basic way, right? Just doing something, having the assist out on the screen, tagging, and then doing any string with you in between, like in that sandwich, creates like the best like case scenario for like to get a hit, right? So basically my team's like best win condition.
And that is like fairly unique to freestyle. Like almost any freeze can set up a sandwich, but the fact that you get like an extra mix and extra conversion possibilities seems like that's unique to freestyle, right? Because even after you swap once, you can still set up a tick throw and still get a combo conversion. Like that's not normal. You can't do that without freestyle, right? And you get an extra opportunity for a mix, whereas other teams, if you just have double down or whatever, you get 1 chance. But this team, you get 2. It seems like, or with this fuse.
Exactly. So it's like you definitely get to push your advantage state a lot further because of that extra tag, where it's like, it's also like character dependent, right? Because if I was playing something like Ekko Yasuo, I don't have to do anything crazy. I could just call Yasuo assist and then you're sandwiched, right?
Right.
Like this, there's like a little bit of finessing with like trying to get Ekko behind and some other stuff like that. But yeah, because I'm playing freestyle, it lets me take those extra turns to be able to do, you know, things like, you know, stuff like this, and then just like keep it going, right?
And while that's going on, like, because you are supposed to block away from the point character, there's multiple layers for mix because you can just tag out and fake people out. Like, say, like, you were going for that Darius overhead, right? I'm looking to block one side for the overhead, and then you could just tag back before the overhead hits and hit on the different side, right? Like, even though...
Yeah, exactly.
So it becomes, instead of a high-low mix, it becomes a left-right mix.
Exactly, yeah. It just becomes like... that. In that case, it's like reaction check. So it's like, all right, you know, are you looking at the screen? Can you react to what's going on?
Right.
Right? With something like that.
That's
but
hard.
even then, yeah, it's really hard to remember.
That's hard, man.
It takes a lot of...
It
takes a lot of self-control. Because it's like, you have to remember, in this game, right? Overhead and low attacks, they keep their overhead and low properties. But the moment you tag them out, they lose it, and it becomes a mid, right?
Right.
So you can block low here. I'm going to tag. So you can just block that low. So, right, I call my assist, just block low.
Right.
So you can block that low, right? So, but yeah, it just takes a lot of like self-control to like, you know that that's an overhead normally. So you stand up on the tag, I go low. It's just like a big reaction check. It's like, okay, do you have the know-withal to like not hold back? Right.
But it's also like just even keeping up with the who is the point character at that moment. Like I'm sure at this point your eyes are so open that that barely happens. But even at your level, does that happen where in these freestyle scrambles and you're getting mixed and you need to block? Do you ever get lost to the point character from the opponent, like where they are, or is that just like required to always have that awareness at your level?
So for me, I wouldn't say that I get lost ever, like fairly, like that doesn't really happen to me much, but I mean, it can, like if you're like panicking and you're not like, you know, remembering exactly what's going on, staying calm, it's pretty easy to get lost in sauce. Like there were a lot of games I had at Frosty where like I'm playing good players, like these guys are not noobs or anything, but like, yeah, like something like this would just kill them. Like they will just get hit. So like for me, because I played tag games forever, right? Like I played Marvel 3 and stuff like that. And the number one like thing I've learned over the years with games like this, it's like you can have good defense and good offense, whatever, but it doesn't mean anything if you're not more chill than your opponent. Like as the guy who's not losing their mind will always win.
Gotcha.
And I feel like it's pretty apparent with like Bleed, right? Like I did so much crazy shit to him and vice versa, and like he did not care. He kept playing his game plan and he played really well.
You guys were playing crazy. It was clear you both were playing really fucking good. Okay, so here's what I'm curious about also. So you explained why Darius is like good for Ekko with his shoulder assists, controlling neutral, and also back assists, setting up strong block stream pressure, and how to sandwich with them. But what about the inverse? Like, why is Ekko alone so good, and why is his assist so good? Because Ekko, obviously, he's kind of like a little bit of the discussion right now. Ekko is all over the place. It's a debate of Ekko and Yasuo, top 1 and top 2. And so what is it about Ekko, before we even get into the super shenanigans, that makes him such a good support character and even a good point character on his own?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple, too. I think he pretty much... He has really good movement speed, right? They nerfed backwards movement speed, but still pretty good, right? Forward, really good. One of the big things a lot of people don't talk about that is just really, really obvious is like jumping. A lot of characters in this game struggle with, like, it's kind of Street Fighter-esque, right? You jump and then what, right? For some characters, but not for Ekko, right? He has like jump Timewinder, he has jump Helmbreaker. Even with that, he can charge it, right? And leave a clone there, so then you have options to rewind. Because if you just do Helmbreaker, it leaves a clone for you to rewind to. So it's kind of like a Rekka move. So if you don't charge it, it leaves that like kind of white outline right there, right? It changes with the color, so it's a little weird. But if you do full charge it, see those like lines it leaves? Like it's like a highlighted clone.
Right.
So if you tap S2, you can cancel anything besides throw into S2 and go back to the clone. Yeah. And then same thing with like those moves, right? Like he has different follow-ups. So like if you just tap S2, you go back to the clone and you do this run, and you can cancel the run into whatever you want. Besides block.
So with his clone mechanic, if so he has like in the air the down S2, and then on the ground he has down S2, and I think he also has his like neutral S2, which also leaves a clone. So if you do the regular version of these, you don't get the flexible rewind. You just get like this attack version, right?
Yeah, you get like the two different Rekkas basically. Yeah. So like you basically, if you do 5S2 and then hit 5S2 again, you get like that replay, which is just like, you know, the same version of doing like 5S2 again, but it puts him in a juggle state. So it is kind of like a little bit of RPS where it's like, okay, I can do, and then if you were to hit a button, I can guess replay and then counter hit you, get a combo, right? So there's a little bit of like
like a Rekka, like a little Fei Long, like a classic Rekka. Like you don't know if you're gonna extend the pressure or not, because that second hit is unsafe on block, right? If it's not covered by an assist.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, even the first hit is unsafe on block. So right, if I just do that, like you can just block it. Right. So it's -5.
-5,
so
right?
Yeah. So technically, you can like throw me or like hit jab, and I'm minus, right?
Right.
So, but the minigame becomes like, all right, now I'm over here, right? So the other option he has out of this move is down S2. And down S2, it's kind of like a launcher, a Rekka launcher version of this move, right? So, but the good thing is that it's safe on block. That was -13. This is like -2 or 3. It's -1. Okay, I'm wrong. So the cool thing is there's two versions of it. So there's two versions of it. So there's, you have the clone and you hit down S2, it goes toward you, right?
Right.
But then if I have the clone and I do down back S2, I'm over here. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize. I messed with this a little bit just to prep for this to be slightly aware of what he does. I didn't realize you had the down back S2 to just escape the situation. Does that still have a hitbox?
Yes, it does. So like, let's say that you wanna, so like just block.
Okay.
After the slice, just like run at me. Right. So then, if I want to like, he has like some funny like hit confirm option selects you can do. So like, if I think you'll run at me, I can like, just like hit, because on hit, you can only cancel the move on hit, right? So like,
I see. That makes sense. Yes.
So then that'll only come out on hit. Whereas like, if you just run at me and block, yeah. So like, you can just run at me and block. So he didn't come out, right? So he does stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, it's like a little mini game to like make people want to like run at you. You can like call your assist, bait them, stuff like that. Like he can use that like rewind mechanic pretty well. On the flip side, right, I can just do right, and then like keep my turn going, right? Just like classic like Rekka mental stack.
Right. They're scared to check because you have so many options out of it. Gotcha. Okay, so with all these different moves, the roll and the S2 and the down S2 in the air, they all have the charge variation, right? So each one of them can charge, and then that leaves you the fancy clone with the purple outlines. And then that one, for all of these, if you neutral S2 out of it, that lets you do any action out of this.
Yeah. Yep. So you can like even do like rewind instant jump, rewind instant button, rewind like all whatever. You know, you can do stuff like that. You just can't block.
Okay, so you might be like locked into a bit of a command dash for a little bit. Like you have to do something out of it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's really strong to like just jump, right? Because then you can block in the air and stuff like that as well. So then the other thing too, it also applies to this. So on the way down from this, you can't block while you're falling.
Okay.
But the cool thing is, Ekko has like a kind of air hop. So when you hop out of that teleport falling, you can block. So if I were to do rewind, air dash, I can block now.
Okay, so if I try to 2H you, you just block it?
Yeah, so I can just...
so early.
I can do it again,
yeah.
And then just for you know, posterity's sake, right? You can just 2H me out of that. So.
Gotcha. Interesting. So, okay, that explains a lot about the rewind, because I wasn't certain why, when he had options like that, right? Like, I didn't really understand when this replay a move would take place, or when you would actually get the more flexible rewinds, because the difference between this and having the empty rewind is a world of difference.
Yeah, it really opens up. And then like the crazy thing, right, is like when you charge this clone, you know, it does the same thing no matter what, when you like charge it or not. Like it'll always like roll through them if you're close enough, and always leave that.
Right.
Like the only two moves that change are like the jump S2, right? Like he gets multiple hits on the Helmbreaker and he charges it, and it pushes you back, right? And I become plus. Whereas this move, 5S2, this is like the moneymaker. Like you'll see Ekko players do this all the time.
Okay.
Because you block it and he rolls through. So it kind of blends the two moves together, right? The big thing though is that it's -1. So technically this is like a bit of a RPS point, because so just to start mashing after you block. Just mash stand jab after you block. Yeah. See, I get counter hit. I try to steal a turn on -1.
Right.
So now do that again.
You whiff. Okay.
Yeah, so I can kind of block again and try it. So it's like a bit of a mini game. See how I made your button go the wrong way and then I counter hit you?
Oh my god.
Right? So it's a bit of So it's like I'm -1, but it's fake, right? Because I have that clone behind me. So like same thing. Like if I want to do something funny, like you can just block again. Right? Grab. I'm playing Darius, so I can like team specific like combos off throws, stuff like that. Right. So yeah, then again, you're just blending all the mechanics, right? Of like, all right, I'm using my mix up tool, right? Now you're sandwiched.
Oh my god, I was trying to block.
Yeah, so it gets pretty crazy. It's like the reason I like this team is like because like I've played so much and I understand like I can go into this win condition, whatever, right? Like I can hit you X amount of ways. It's very, for lack of a better term, very freeform and very freestyle, right? So it's like I can play very loose and like very differently against each opponent, and I think that's kind of like why I do so well. Is like I don't really like, I have like habits for sure, but like I don't play one matchup the exact same, you know, like play pretty loose, and I like look at what you're doing and play around it, and then no matter what, I know how to get to like my win condition from whatever point of like contact, right? So
Right.
if you're someone like that, this team is pretty fun and good for that.
Nice. Okay, so that helps me understand a lot more what's going on with these clones, so I can at least understand the better advantage states, right? When they get the charge ones, they get the way better rewind, and it makes sense when it's like the danger time, basically, versus this. Yeah, it's dangerous as well, but nowhere near as bad as when this is set up and you have the assist going, and who knows what's happening at that point. That makes sense. That actually explains a lot of what I was seeing in the tournament that I didn't fully understand yet. The other thing I see a lot of is, of course,
yes,
this baby here. This seems like maybe the best projectile in the game. I don't know, man. Can you give me a crash course on Timewinder here?
So basically, it's a fireball, right? Very self-explanatory. Active as soon as it leaves its hand. But, so the way it works is, if it travels a set minimum distance, see how it opens up? So even if it's not really how long it's been on the screen, it's just as long as it meets that minimum distance, it'll freeze you. So see there, you weren't in it. But if I hit you from like right here, maybe a little bit farther. There we go.
Okay.
You get put in a billion frames of hit stun, and I can just like, right, if this hits you, chilling. Oh, I see that. Cool.
So in a weird way, it has like both advantages of a fast fireball and a really unique advantage for a slow fireball, because when it's in the fast state up close, it's just like, you know, a decent projectile, and it hits them, and like with assist you can probably convert, you know, it's just like a solid projectile. But then at further away, when it hits the slowdown state, it controls the screen and locks them down a little bit, because the risk is so bad that, you know, they just die, right?
Yeah. It's a very simple tool, but like very, very strong. And then same thing applies for the jumping fireball, right? This one, it's a bit cheaper because it opens up faster. So that happens, and it cuts off the screen because it's like you could be chilling. Very common scenario in like fighting game or in tag games. You're up backing, right? So chilling. I'm like, he might run at me. I'm gonna up back fireball, call assist, bang.
Oh my god.
So it's like you kind of have to like play very, very carefully, especially around like jumping Ekko, because even if I don't want to do that, I could be up backing and then boom, Helmbreaker calls this, right?
Right. And then on top of that, you know, it's a tag game. So like, do you do that? Like you just up back Timewinder? Like that's basically a way to get Ekko out, right? You like up back Timewinder, assist, tag out?
Yeah, exactly. So you can do something like this, see what's going on, make contact maybe, and then like play off that, right? See what's going on from there.
And that covers your assists. Like, it gives you a full combo if they try to check your assist, really.
Exactly, yeah. And then if you can make contact, like, on block, it's very, very strong as well. Just because, like, it can make them scared because it cuts off part of the screen. Because the cool thing is, and the way I like to describe it to, like, people like coach and stuff like that, is when you have your assist on screen, you basically have this free pause the game button. And you get to do, like, bufferable actions, is what I like to say. Is, like, when you tag, there's certain moves where you're always going to, like, tag off of them because, like, they're really unsafe, you know? Like, they lose to, like, passive options, which is just, like, someone's not really looking at the screen, they're just doing things. Like, it's like breathing. Like, someone will just jump and hit a button. Like, they don't really have to think about that. They're gonna just do that, right? So, like, if you do fireball, you have all that recovery. So, like, just jump in, like, mid-range right here. Like, see how I could just die. Like, you don't need to know what I'm gonna do to jump, right? Because you have such good jump options, right? So, do it again. So, because I froze the screen there, I saw you jump, and then have the time to like process it during that buffer time, and then instant punish, right? So you just like do it again. Go from here. Right, I saw you jump, boom. Right.
So you're saying like these moves that are more committal, like the Timewinder, it is really strong, but it is still like a giant projectile in a fast-moving game. Like you could potentially be jumping at me at that time and kill me.
Yeah, exactly.
You're saying
if we're in,
when you're going to use that, you're also going to call assist behind it to have that assurance.
Yeah. Because it's pretty much just like you can be in this range, and like if you think about it and you break the screen into parts, right? It's like, okay, the only threat to me from this range is he throws fireball, I run into it, and I get hit, right? So counter is like, okay, I can either like dash block the fireball, but then he has assist, and then, you know, some crazy stuff happens, right? Or I can jump. And like both of those things are pretty strong, but then when you pair it with call assist, right? Now we're getting into some territory that's like pretty spooky. And a lot of that is like, a lot of people will like look at that and be like, well, then how are you supposed to play the game? And the answer to something like that is it's a lot of patience. Like I don't think people, because a lot of people, tag games are kind of like a lost form of media that haven't been around for a while. So a lot of people are getting used to playing them again, especially compared to like some traditional fighting games nowadays. But basically, like if you get me to do this, and let's say you're a bit farther, right? Like you're here, and I have the assumption if you get me to do this, you won a huge thing in neutral, right? Like you got my assist out, and now you can play around my assist and stuff like that.
And
like,
now your assist is rebuilding, and so then I can do something like this.
Exactly. Yeah, you can do it right back to me, right? It's like
I noticed there's a big like war of attrition. Like the way you're winning neutral in a lot of these situations is for sure like covering yourself, like do something a bit more committal, and then covering yourself, and then having that ability to tag to keep yourself safe. But also like if that gambit fails, then you're playing a 2v1 suddenly. And the opponent who didn't burn their assists can do the same thing back to you with even less risk of the opponent doing something with assist coverage. So you want to make your gambits make contact or be able to tag back out to an advantage state is my understanding. You want to have coverage almost anytime you go in, ideally.
Exactly. Yeah. Because it's pretty much the way I describe it is like a lot of people will get mad at like, let's say it's even something as simple as this in neutral, right? If I whiff, normal fighting game player brain goes, okay, I punish, right? Like if we're here in this range and I whiff like here, you'd be looking to whiff punish me, right?
Sure.
But we're playing a tag game, so then I can do something like this, and then now I'm safe because you hit my assist, or
I didn't even realize that. I just didn't even hit you. Like your assist just body blocked you.
Yeah, right. Then it gets kind of spooky. So then we can do something like
oh no.
Right? So that's what I'm talking about, like freezing the screen. Yeah, this is like true dark arts. Yeah, this is don't show this to Street Fighter player. Yeah.
No, that's not right, man.
Oh, I know. But yeah, so like that's where it goes. Like at the high level. It's like I whiffed, you punish, I freeze the screen, now I parried you, and you look stupid, right?
Oh
like,
my god, that was brutal. I heard the rumblings of people talking about tag parry, but to see it there first try and feel it firsthand, that felt awful.
Yeah, it's really bad. There's a lot of cool things about this game, but yeah, that's easily the worst thing about it. But yeah,
that's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, like even the other thing too is it's kind of like, let's say I make contact. Okay. It's kind of hard to like, if I do MH and I push you back, I get kind of nothing from there, right?
Right.
But let's say I do a hit confirm that is a block string that is everything, right? So if I just do dash up, if you got hit by that, it's just a combo, and I can just confirm it, right? But now, like I showed earlier, that goes into something like this, right?
I tried.
I tried. And now I'm mixing you up crazy, right? So it's like having little like set scenarios like that where you can just make a play with the little mental stack you can put is really, really strong. So that's another reason, right, where I like this team. So it's like stuff like this, just auto gives me a win condition, right? And now I'm just doing damage.
I want to break down that right there. So I know a little bit about the secrets of what's going on there, but I think that would be interesting to break down too, because it's a very unique mechanic, I think, to 2xKO. So obviously during that string, what you're doing is, I guess 2xKO players call it programming, right?
Yeah.
Where you started a special move with Darius, which I believe that was S2, and then as you tagged him out, you're actually still controlling him to a degree while piloting Ekko. Yeah. Because there's extensions from S2. So yeah, can you break that down and like show how messed up that can be?
Yeah. So like you said, right? Hitting S2, right? It's this big slash, forward S2, same thing. And they have follow-ups, they're records, right? So you can just hit S2 again, get that. You get forward S2, get this big pinwheel move, right? A lot of block stun in that. So if we put all that together, you can, like you said, like program moves after you've been tagged out. The way it works is you have to hit S2 or forward S2 to get the follow-up, right? So there's like an overlap of inputs that you have to like control with your point character while Darius is in the back doing his thing. So an example of that, like I showed, is something like this. So if you look at my inputs, so if you look at my inputs, right, on the right, I did forward S2, tagged, and so I can do it again. While he's in the Rekka window, or the time to do the Rekka, you can hit S2, forward S2, whatever, as Ekko and get the follow-up, right? And they have really good synergy and makes it really easy because Ekko has a lot of moves on S2, right? You can do something like, right, bang, bang, and then I can hit down S2, right, and get the neutral follow-up, which is like the cleave, applies bleed, and stuff like that. A really easy one that I do is like, right, whatever. I can hit forward plus S2 and get the spin follow-up, and then like, right. So just try to block this. Try to block this.
Okay, let's go. Where am I? Okay.
So it's like, it gets crazy, right? So
Wait.
then let's try again, right?
Okay.
So do something like, because this is just like whatever,
Oh,
right?
I was a frame
So
off.
you just,
I saw it.
yeah,
Too late.
yeah, like it's crazy. There's a lot of like crazy stuff happening.
So
that's,
just
like,
to be
you
very
saying-
clear, like when you're doing the Darius, that forward S2, that's when he does the giant's axe spin overhead, where he's doing a bunch of hits. Because you're tagged out, you're actually controlling Ekko. You get that extension to come out, but you're able to just hold forward S2 on Ekko that starts charging your roll to set up the sandwich and a cross up, and that actually programs Darius during that time to do the giant spin to keep them in block stun, keep them blocking, while then your point character can get behind them, and then you can start doing a freestyle mix.
Yes, exactly.
That is so messed up. I didn't realize, like I was always wondering what the string was because I saw you doing that setup, but I didn't realize it's so convenient that Ekko's forward S2 gives you this charge and roll and cross through and rewind, while Darius forward S2 does this giant windmill to keep them pinned down, and then you can just
Yep, you can just keep it
almost
going.
had it. I gotta get
Yeah.
my timing down. That's crazy. It works so perfectly together.
And then Darius also has another move, right? Apprehend. And similarly, he has these follow-ups, right? Off of them. So the main ones are L, which is an overhead that gives you a combo. But remember, when you tag out, overheads and lows lose their overhead and low properties, right? So it'll just be
Right.
a mid. And then he has this mid that pushes you back -2, but applies bleed, right? So he has certain things that he can do, such as this. So let's say I make contact, right? I can like puppet it still while I'm doing these things, right? So a really good example of it is something like this. Right? So if I do like, let's just do, right? And now I put you in a mix-up string and you have bleed, right?
So while you started the apprehend with Darius, you tagged out to Ekko, and then you're inputting the roll. But during that roll, you're able to use light, medium, or heavy because Ekko is not actionable during that roll. So
Yes.
those buttons won't come out on Ekko, but you're actually puppeting the follow-ups on the Darius apprehend in the background to do one of the follow-ups to do different mixes.
Yes, exactly. So then, right, you can start getting funny things like this. So, right, let's just say you block.
Oh my
Boom,
god.
I cross you up. Right? You get to do stuff like that.
Ekko,
Right?
Ekko side swapped, but Darius does the hits, and suddenly Ekko rolled through, and it's a cross up because you have to block away from the point character.
Yeah. And so the cool thing is like stuff like this. So people would see something like that at like a higher level and be like, well, that's weak. I'm gonna mash parry, right? But
Sure.
the thing is, like, if you're mashing parry, the cool thing about setups like this is that I can check you low, right? So you can do, and you got auto checked, right? Because you saw the hook, you're like, I parry the hook, but I hit you low.
Can you? I don't understand actually what happened there. So why didn't the parry
So-
work? It's because it's high low.
Yeah, so this is a mid parry. So right, if I do, so I'm gonna do light, medium, and then just mash parry. Right, that's a mid parry. So
Right.
now if I go, so just mash mid parry again. So there, my low didn't hit you, right? So when you mid parry, it parries highs and mids, but not lows. To parry low,
okay.
you have to low parry, right?
Right.
Which is down plus parry. So if we do it again, so we'll leave string. Boom. Right, I hit you low on the timing
Okay.
that the mid should have hit you first, but I filled the gap with the low, so then your parry got blown up.
I see. So normally moves like apprehend, because the parry is really good in this game. For good players, they're going to see this animation, and whether it's an assist or point character, they're going to see that, and that's their way out. React parry, either get a punish if it's point, or if it's assist, it causes the blowback. They get to take their turn neutral. But
Yeah.
if you tag early to Ekko and then you go low while they're sitting there mashing mid parry, you could just get a full combo punish on the up with a low.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those like
okay.
super layered things, right? So then like you play someone enough and they understand what's going on, like they just do nothing, right? It's like you hit the bell curve of like, I shouldn't parry here. I should parry here every time. Now I know too much. I should parry here, right?
Okay.
So yeah, it goes pretty much like all around in a circle.
I
so.
see. I'm at the level where if I ever parried apprehend once, I'd be like, holy shit, I'm so smart. But then I guess at your level, if they try to parry apprehend, you're like, holy shit, they're so dumb. And they.
Yeah,
they
you just killed
die.
them for it. Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
see.
And I don't. The thing is, right? So like, it's kind of like it goes back to what I said earlier about like getting time to buffer things, right, off the tag. Like if I do this, like, so just don't do anything. Just look at the screen, right? So right, light, medium, assist. if you're looking at the screen when I tag, you see Apprehend coming out there, right? So
Sure.
your brain tells you parry because you saw
Yes.
it and you're like, let me get out. So it's another one of those things where we go back to how we were talking about like the overhead losing its overhead property and you just have to block low and not
Right.
stand up. You have to go against your better judgment of like, I shouldn't parry because they have the threat to hit low, right? That's why this team has a lot of like little traps like that where it's like, the game's really fast. It's a really fast scenario. I'm reaction checking you, but I'm going to punish you for having those reactions, right?
Right. Okay. That's gnarly. I didn't realize how dangerous the parry situation was. Like, I understand in practice you have to high parry and low parry, but I didn't get the implications for mix once people start parrying everything with gaps. Then you actually start baiting people for doing mid parries or even maybe even low parries maybe.
Yeah,
and you
exactly,
purposely go for other options to blow that up. Okay, I see. Yeah, that's some good player shit.
Yeah, it's like super
At
duper
my level
late,
is just land random parry, be like, hell yes, I win. That's as deep as it gets right now. Awesome. That's sick. Okay, I think there's a lot covered there, but what I'm curious about now, I think we got to get to the next level Grime Noon. I think we gotta break down this one. What is going on here?
Okay, so right, we covered the clone, right?
Right.
Full charge clone gives you that. This install super, you get a little timer right there, right? That little orb. And you notice I have a clone with me at all times, right? This install super basically just gives you a clone, and like wherever you are or whenever you do an S2 move, it'll move the clone. So you can move the clone there, move the clone there, and you just pretty much have an instant rewind the whole time that it's active, right? And so each time you do hit that rewind, it does take like a chunk of it. So you potentially do have like 5 teleports if you use it at fastest timing, but practically you get about 3 every time, so it's really, really strong. So you and everyone else probably saw Frosty. There's a lot of, you know, people getting hit into them holding some kind of clone Oki, right? Whether it's was like this. This is a little bit more advanced, but it's really strong win condition, right? And then now I get to just like do crazy shit all over you.
So just to be clear with the clone, so it just stalls for a few seconds, like maybe 1 second after you activate it, and then it just follows literally any action you do, and then you get the rewinds whenever.
Yeah, exactly. So you can also move it with like your S2 moves, right? So if you do forward plus S2, yeah. So same thing when you jump. Like if you jump and you hit S2, like you'll rewind, right? So you have to hit forwards so that way you don't get that rewind. And then same thing with roll. So you do forward, you get it, and then right.
But it stalls your... So when you use the S2 moves, though, it kind of stalls your clone for a while. It actually adds more of a desync. I didn't realize that. So is that useful for, like, establishing mix-ups? So, like, if you just do a string, it lets you rewind easier? Is that the idea behind that, like, lagging clone when you do S2 specifically?
Yeah, so the way it works is, like, see how it's right there? If I do a special move, it brings it back exactly to where I did that special move. So, for example, right, if I move over here and my clone is over here, this isn't good for pressure because I'm back here, right? Whereas if I do something like this, right, my clone is over there, I move my clone forward, now he's on the ground, right? So when you do that S2 move, it moves the clone to where you did that special move. So
so it sets like a safe state almost, you can consider it.
Pretty
like,
much, yeah.
You have a natural clone that's lagging behind where you are, but if you want to set it up to be in a specific spot in a sequence, you use an S2 move in that sequence, and that plants the clone there for a second to be more controllable.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So then,
I didn't realize it reset like that. That was the confusing part. So I was like, I know it lags, but I didn't understand how it's being manipulated a bit more beyond that.
Yeah, you can just move it around, right? So like one way I really like using it is like, you probably saw me this in tournament, I'll do things like
what?
And then just yeah, exactly. Because it's like, right, it's imagine I'm Ryu, I did a fireball, canceled my fireball, jumped, did an air dash, fireball again, now I'm over here, right?
Oh my god.
It can get really crazy with how you move it around. That's why, like, I really like a character like this because it really rewards you for like how creative and like how like whatever you can like think of, right? Like the character is as good as you are, and that's the case for a lot of characters in this game. But yeah, I mean, obviously not every character has you know, this to
I gotta say, not every character has that, you know. Actually, I've got to ask you before we get into, I do want to really break down the Oki situation, but you know, there's been a bit of a cold war between the Yasuos and the Echoes. You know, Noon, it's funny, you and Leffen have been battling it out on Twitter This Cold War,
Yeah.
both talking mad shit about each other's characters. The Ekko players hate Yasuo's, and Yasuo's hate Ekko's. But after Frostys, man, you know,
Yeah,
there was
I mean,
more Ekko's in top 8 than Yasuo's. How we feeling? Who's
if
number
I were
one?
to steal a page out of my good friend Leffin's book, I think the Ekko players are just better at the game.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because that's what he would
Understood.
say about Yasuo players, right? So, exactly. The actual opinion is I try to look at things as objectively as I can, especially with like games. So, like in this game, I think they are roughly the same strength, but the way they're broken is in completely different ways. So, like Ekko, his like post-hit Oki and like his mix-up options and getting into win condition is really good with everyone. Right, like he just is like he's kind of, you can think of him like a Doctor Doom, but like good. Like
Sure.
he just works with everyone. He's a lot of characters' best partner. He has a lot of synergy with like the game's mechanics and stuff like that. Right, he uses a lot of things very well. The thing with Yasuo is like, in my opinion, I think his neutral and the scenarios he forces with very certain team compositions with him is by far like just the best. Right, so for example, right, like Yasuo Ekko is like a very talked about team and very common team. The win condition they get is like Yasuo assist just sandwiches them, right? So it's like, so imagine, right, just block this for a sec. So like I have to do this, then this, right, to get a sandwich.
Right.
Whereas Ekko Yasuo, I do button, slice, call Yasuo assist, and now you're sandwiched and I have to hold like 8 50-50s, right? So there's a very clear like discrepancy in like how quickly they get into that win condition and like you're forced to just take some shit. And like Yasuo, I think his neutral is a lot stronger than Ekko and a lot more non-interactive. So like if you look at like Marvel 3, you look at a character like Zero or like Morgan or whatever, those characters are just throwing fireballs at you and like running around the screen and not really interacting with you much, right? He does a lot of that and can like change the pace very well. Like he's 10 out of 10 on like mix-ups, his defense is good, his neutral is good, his block strings are good, like he's just good at everything. But despite that, Ekko has better Oki than him because of the rewind, and you get really crazy. So
That's true.
they're just broken in very different ways. But then you put them together, it's like best of both worlds.
Yeah. When's when's noon Ekko Yasuo? When's
Oh,
that coming?
it's been cooking up. It's been cooking up.
Okay.
So it's coming soon. I've been practicing. So today it
I
might
would
be the
love
training
for
mode
you.
today.
I would love for you to practice what you preach, man. I love it when it all comes together. You know, hey, this character is fucking stupid and busted, and then ride that to a victory. I'm all for it.
That's the plan. That is exactly the
All right.
plan. Unless they nerf him, then we're just going back to what we know. But yeah, we're playing Yasuo.
Okay. In the meantime, yes, it's time. What I want to get into the nitty gritty. So,
Right.
what people saw at Frosty Frostings, you touched on a little bit earlier, was 10,000 different knockdowns where we saw, what is it, lob into install into what the
Right.
fuck is going on. So, from square one, can we break down what's going on? You're getting that knockdown, and then what's the play here?
All right, so there's just like there's two things you gotta know, right? You can't do lob into S2 super, right? See how I was like stuck in recovery? Like you can try it
Sure.
yourself, like you down S1 and then mash S2 super, right? You're in all that recovery. So the way that you can get past that is, so let's say I hit you, right? I do my combo. Ekko combos usually end with jump S2. And you see how there's that clone there?
Yeah.
So remember earlier we mentioned if you have a clone, you can do moves canceled into other moves, right?
Right.
Into their S2 follow-ups. So basically what you can do is when you have a clone out, when you end that combo, you can Kara the recovery. So you're Karaing the startup of your replay into
No
the
way.
super.
That's
Yeah,
the
so
trick.
that's what's going on. Yeah.
Oh, so if I just do down S2, then what am I what do I do here out of
So
the
you would
down
do
S2?
you would do down S1 and then just input the super for S2 super.
It just does it? You don't even have
And
to.
it just does it. Nope. There's no like
There's no
crazy
execution
magic
here.
Nope. It's only the execution. So there is some execution in doing this where there's timings where you throw the ball and you want to do it as soon as it leaves your hand. So that way you can react to roll and get like a throw punish. And that's like the execution check of it. But yeah, actually doing the super is not hard. It is getting the correct timing to do it.
Wow. When was this figured out? Because that seems so almost game breaking. The fact that you get this knockdown with the clone lob to keep the meaty, because I mean, just to go further back into it, the reason why you even want to, after getting this combo with the clone leaving up there and doing the fireball, I'm assuming that's just to have more coverage. Like, can you actually break down that part? Like, why do you want this fireball on top of the clone into the super?
Yeah, so the crazy thing is, it basically, so it times perfectly that I can react to your roll. So if I do this, I can see you do something on the screen freeze there and react and punish it. And the reason why this is there, right, this orb, is that, like, let's say you back roll or you tech in place, it auto meaties for me, right? So that layer
Okay.
1 is like, okay, you have to block midi projectile, pretty good in every fighting game, right? So then I'm super duper plus, and then I get to do things like this, right? So you can just block from it. Right, and then I get to continue my string, I get a hit, I can rewind.
Oi.
Yeah, because he has all like
Okay.
that whole timer to rewind, right?
So what happens if I mash into the projectile? Say you're fighting round 1 of pools. I'm a poor, uninformed player here going up against Supernoon. I'm getting hit here. I'm like, this shit's fake. I'm gonna wake up mashing.
Counter hit.
Okay, and you convert that and kill them.
Yeah. So like, if you want to
Okay.
see what it looks like,
Yeah,
right?
let's take a look. This shit's fake. I'm out of here. I don't believe you. I'm mashing. Oh god.
And then this is the reward. Like, if you were to you just want to see what happens.
Oh no.
Oh no, I died.
Yeah, okay. So incentive to block established. Okay.
Yeah. So block is the best option. Other best option is you can parry, right?
Okay.
So it is pretty hard to like get wake up parry in this game, deservedly so, because parry is like ridiculously broken. Whether it's like physical parry, you parry a physical attack, right, or you parry a projectile, it's really, really strong, right? Because I technically can't react to you parrying on the parry freeze. So like, if you parry, hit a button, if I didn't expect you to hit a button, block or jump or whatever your option was, I have to preemptively like blow it up. Like, I have to assume he's gonna parry, I'm gonna hit this button to stop the option he chooses after parry. So it's kind of like the inverse of like a fuzzy mash, where like,
Okay.
you're on defense and you hit the button in like the timing that you wouldn't be in block stun. As the offender, I'm hitting a button in the timing that you would parry, and then I punish you for trying to do something after you parry.
Okay,
So that's
so
like the
if you predict that they're going to go for the parry option, because like if you parry this projectile, just a demo, it doesn't do a screen freeze, right? Like,
yeah,
when you parry physical hits, it does a full screen freeze, and you get a full combo with all that blowback. But so this projectile meaty, if I wake up parry, it'll just immediately allow me to mash after, and you lose the block stun from the meaty projectile, and you're forced to go on the offensive.
Exactly, yeah. So like, I would not be able to react to you doing that, so I have to assume that you're gonna do it and then dial in my next option to blow it up, right?
Okay, so for me on defense then, parry mash, it's an option because that limits you from applying more advanced mix maybe, but definitely run the risk of you just auto-piloting your string and killing me.
Exactly, yeah. So,
Okay.
unironically, one of the best scenarios, or best options to choose in this scenario is block, right? You can parry block, very, very strong. Because the thing is, right, let's just say that I think you're gonna parry. So let's just imagine, right, you're waking up here, and so I'll just throw you mash parry, right? So imagine there's an orb there, you parry it, now we're kind of 50-50ing each other a little bit, right? So instead, let's do this. All right, there's an orb here. Boom, I blew up your parry. Because I hit you low, right? From what we knew earlier, lows blow up your mid parry, and you have to mid parry projectiles. You can't low parry them.
You
So
have
then-
to mid parry projectiles.
Yes, you have to.
Oh, okay. So if I try to low parry a projectile, you just get hit?
Yeah, I can show you.
Okay, so if you do that, I
Yep.
see. Oh, I just got hit. Yeah. So if you go for 2S1 Oki with the install super, if I have parry in the mind, it has to be mid parry. Low parry's off the table, which opens you up to going on offense for a low.
Yeah, so then the mind game becomes, right, this game has a frame 0 DP on Wakeup, get up attack. So if I throw you and you hold special,
Okay,
if you hold either one of the special buttons, you'll get that get up attack, right?
Right.
So I have to block that. So let's say I try to blow up your low, like I really want that juicy hit. I get hit, and now we go back to you're an advantage there. Technically, you're slightly plus at a range. So then I lose that advantage for trying to read you, right? So
Okay.
there's that layer, but then it gets even more fucked up. So remember how I was mentioning like I can like fuzzy on my own offense?
Sure.
So do that get up attack for me again.
Okay.
So basically, I can just block your get up attack, and then get up attack is at the same frame timing every wake up. It will never change, right? So when you get to the layer of like someone like me, for example, like you can train to block get up attack and then hit a button on the same frame, because it's parry and get up attack are the same frame, right? Because they're both like first frame.
I see.
And then press jab and blow you up for doing that. Right?
Okay, so that essentially, if you can block and fuzzy light at the perfect timing, you can block wake up attack, and you can still interrupt parry into button on defense, and so you cover both wake up parry into button, and you cover wake up get up attack.
Yeah, So it can
But
get
it's a very strict timing. Is it a strict timing?
Yeah, it is.
to do
It
that?
is. It is very hard. Yeah. So like, if people
Okay.
watch like me versus Bleed, you'll see a lot of like I think like one of the first Oki scenarios I did to him, because a very common thing people will do is they'll parry Timewinder and jump, right? So this is like layer 1, haven't played him in tournament yet. I did lob Oki into he's gonna parry, I go low to hit his jump input, right? He did stand parry, low parry, and blew up my low, and then killed me, right?
Really?
So then
I didn't even notice that. This was in winners finals?
Yeah, I think it was like winners finals or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty insane. So then I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, okay, if you want to gamble there, let's do it. So what I started doing was I would do lob, he parries it, and I just hit stand jab, and he got counter hit like 17 times in a row, right?
Okay.
Because he's trying to low parry, he's trying to mash, he's trying to jump, but I hit stand jab.
So he's doing mid parry, low parry, because that beats your fuzzy light, which originally is meant to beat parry button and both parry button and get up attack. So that's like the most option coverage for you is fuzzy light. And so he uses stand parry, crouch parry to blow that up. And then you went back to just not delaying at all and just hitting him, essentially willing to tank the wake up get up attack, and then you just counter hit his low parry with the mid and get a full combo.
Yeah, so basically, you almost had it right. The only thing that's wrong is basically I'm always fuzzying him. Like, I'm waiting on that timing and then hitting delay jab, right? So the layer I'm targeting is he parries this, and then I hit stand jab after to blow up the layer after that, right? So yeah, that happened a lot. Like, if you look at the
you're
games
you're still doing fuzzy light, which will still beat wake up attack, but basically you're guessing after the first parry in the projectile, he can then go low parry or mid parry actually. So you're basically playing a if you wake up parry the projectile, you can then do a 50-50 on low or mid, and you're engaging with that 50-50 with the low or mid yourself, and you're still trying to time your offense, so no matter what, wake up attack is just not even on the table if you do it correctly.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
50-50s on
50-50s.
Yeah.
This is some real nerd shit. So that's pretty much what was going on. So like, yeah, if you just watch us play, like after that interaction, I was like, okay, I am not giving you the chance. And he never mid parry. He never did mid parry. He did mid parry into like options. Yeah. So that was what was going on there.
And just to rewind it, back to the basics, tech rolling in this game. Rolls are throwable, so like when you hit the ground, you can either just get up in place and then block, or if you hold, there is a back roll, right?
Yeah,
forward or back
you hold
roll.
forward or back. Yeah, forward.
Right. The problem is those are punishable by throws. So why is tech roll not a good option for the Oki setup? Can you like set up the whole situation? I try to like roll out a bit.
So what we can do is, what I will do is we're gonna save state this. So. Right, so there, when you're getting up, you just look at yourself and you do roll or not roll.
Okay.
I can rewind CD that and like meaty you if you're like trying to mash or jump, right?
Okay.
But if I do it correctly, I can rewind throw you, get a combo.
Okay. That wasn't a punish. Were you just late on that, or can that theoretically be a
so
punish there?
I was just late on it just because like online training mode is a little weird. But yeah, so I mean, that's part of the execution, right? Is that I land this correctly, right? Like I can miss my teleport, get throw. I
see.
I can do like here where I land the punish, right?
And so what are you actually doing there to get the throw? So like the knockdown happens and then the screen freeze happens with the super. I'm assuming you actually see the animation of the roll starting up there. And so you see me forward roll, like a little sliver of the animation. You recognize that visually. What are you doing there? Like what are you inputting? What's going on there?
So what's going on is, right, screen freeze, you roll. I cancel the recovery of you because you can cancel the recovery of the super into teleport, right? Into rewind. So right, I do this, I'm mashing rewind, and you can cancel the like that little dash he does here. You can cancel it into like an option, right? So I'm doing rewind, throw, and then I'm canceling the rewind. So I'm canceling super into rewind, canceling the rewind into throw.
What if I back roll into the corner? Does it have any potential for messing up what you're doing here?
Nope. You just see it.
Does it make it a little bit harder to see?
No. So pretty much it's pretty on me. We're like, see how I can see it? Boom.
Yeah.
Bang. Right. So the only execution in this is like you can either do the super too late or too early. So like, for example, if I reset it, I can do this too fast. See how I did it too fast? Can't see your thing.
Oh, okay. So you actually want to lob and slightly delay the super. The idea being you should be inputting the super right when they're starting to get up, so you freeze frame to get a visual cue on what option I chose. Neutral, get up, back roll, or forward roll.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so you're literally freezing time with your rewind super, seeing what I did. If it's a roll, it's an auto punish into a full combo, and if it's get up in place, then it's 50-50 city and not in the defender's favor, and they got to hold that.
That's also something I wanted to touch on, is it's not much of a 50-50 anymore.
Okay.
It's just like really strong block pressure, because when you look at Ekko's, so the assumption here is that, so just like block on Wakeup here, the assumption here is that Ekko is solo when he does this, right? The only thing he can do to hit you here is throw or this overhead, right? And this overhead's 22 frames. So you can technically like mash on it, you can parry it. They really want you to parry it. That's why it's 22 frames. Or you can just hold up. So what it comes down to is like, how do you get mental stacks? So just block here. So like, right, this is a block string. Bang, I stuck in an overhead. See, you blocked it, right?
Yeah.
So now let's go to layer 2.
Okay. Oh, no.
Right? So then this is when it gets crazy. But the thing is, you could like, this is kind of like anime defense where it's like, you see that like pause here where I do like, you do jab and then someone could fuzzy jump, right? Exactly. So then they nerfed Ekko's offense where it's like, if I with throw, I can't replay it. So then you could see, oh, I got it, bang. So it's just really insane strike throw. It is good, but like you can survive it. Like there's plenty of times where like Bleed blocked it out, I blocked it out, and we went back to neutral, and like one of us won immediately after blocking it out, right?
Right.
But the thing that makes this really broken is, let's say, let's do it again, right? Let's just say I'm killing time for my assist to come back. So you block.
Oh.
And then now we're doing it. I killed time and got my assist back, and now you have to hold a real mix-up, right?
So like you mentioned before, the assumption is usually to get into the situation, you probably burned assist to secure the hit and get the combo conversion to set up the lob Oki with the super install. So just locking them down and ensuring that they have to sit there and block while the assist recharges lets you then eventually get a true enough string into your assist to go back to doing the real freestyle mix-ups and 50-50s.
Yeah, it is a lot of that. But so the thing where your mind should go, right, is like, okay, how do I use the game's defensive mechanics to bypass this, right? So like, just try to push blocking, right? Right? So there, you actually did it. So there's timings where you can push block Ekko and move him away, and it moves the clone and me, and I'm back here and I didn't get my block string. So then you could have like tagged and hit a button, you could have jumped, done something, right? But like, so let's say a very common area people will push block is on the orb, right? So push block me on the orb.
Okay.
Then you block. Right? So you did it actually really good there. You delayed your push block and it pushed me away and negated my replay, right? So there's like the people, like I saw someone in chat saying like defense is really weak in this game. It's quite the opposite. Defense is stronger than offense most of the time in this game.
So just to be clear, because I did the push block, you were trying to cancel your projectile into a rewind to keep the pressure going, but it kind of ate your timing of the input because of the screen freeze on that?
It's a little bit different where you were still in block stun, so you push block toward the end of your block stun, and I, on assumption, canceled the recovery into teleport, and while I was mid-teleport, you push blocked me away, so it negated my time. So it's a bit of RPS.
Okay, so based on the push block timing, you can just mess up your flow and make your teleports kind of ineffective. And then you lose the block string pressure, and I can strike back, tag out, whatever, try to move, make something happen.
So then, so remember how I did tag parry? You could do the exact same thing. You could push block, mash tag, because you can tag off of push block, and then see what I'm doing. If I try to like keep pressure, you see it, tag, parry, kill me, right?
That's so still crazy awareness to have.
yeah, it is a lot. It's easier said than done, for sure, but it's like
that's
very,
what people
very,
are doing.
very hard. Yeah, that's people are doing it at the high level. So
gotcha.
Yeah, so if people are wondering, like, man, this Ekko Oki is, like, inescapable, impossible. This dude, Brian, just did it twice on accident. Like, like you can do it. You just really need to understand what's going on. And yeah, I mean, that's basically the whole mind game. Is like finding that push block timing. And then when you push block, you have to assume that you're going to hit that timing. So you see push block, tag, buffer, freeze the screen, see what's going on, and then you do your thing, right? But the thing to remember is like I'm still an install, right? So like I can like kind of counterplay your push block a little bit if I like guess the timing right, or if I delay properly and then I react to your push block with tag. because here's the thing, right? Let's do it again, but like just push block like the second normal you get hit by. So, right, we do this. Now I'm in.
Yeah, what exactly happened there? I push block in the second attack. What did you do to get back in? You just waited and delayed and then rewind, and you went back to the clone that was still in front of me from a second ago?
Yep, literally that. Yeah. So like I waited, I was like, he's gonna push block here. I waited, I got pushed back, my Ekko did, but I still have this guy right here, right? And
right,
rewind,
so
bang,
point
bang,
Ekko got pushed back, but Ekko in the past was still point blank, so you can see the push block or guess the push block maybe, and then just rewind to negate it if your clone is still there, and just get back in and keep going.
Exactly. Yep.
Does that leave you at risk for if I did like push block in the button? Does that leave you at risk, or is it so airtight that you would win that interaction?
So that's part of the RPS. It's like if I properly read your push block and I get the good timing on it, I can just jail you, right? But there's also timings where like I can be slightly off and like you push block and mash tag, and I could be like a couple frames off of jailing you, and you push block, mash tag, see my jab coming out, and then tag parry.
Okay. So in that situation, a lot of people would opt for push block tag because of that slight screen freeze just to get a read on the situation and tag. So like push block button would be less popular, I'm guessing, at high level than push block tag?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. It's because it's just slightly less committal. You have that screen freeze and you can use that to your advantage.
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing a lot of people forget is that you can down back and mash tag, right? So just push block me and then mash tag, right? Right? You can just down back and like mash tag. Yeah, like you don't have to like be holding neutral or something. So like just do it again, and then I'll like run up and hit a button. Right, I do this. See, and then like I'm minus here, so like you could have like froze the screen, saw me whiff, and then like whiff punished me for free, right?
Right. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I never considered like you're kind of defensive OSing. Like you have coverage by blocking. You don't have to give up your block. Push block comes out, gets your assist on screen, and then you just swap to him and take advantage of whatever state is on the screen. Dude, tagging is cheap.
Active tag is it's very evil. It is a very, very evil mechanic.
Okay, well, I feel like I got a much better read on at least even just watching what's going on there, because seeing this on screen, and first of all, not knowing how you even got it, that's crazy that this just gives you this fast install when you have the clone out.
Yeah, you get the Kara super out.
But now I can understand why people are doing a lot of parry and to get hit. I was very confused why people were even attempting to parry. Like, what was the point? If they're just going to get hit after, or I was trying to get a read on all that. But this definitely makes the 30 billion times it's happened in grand finals and winners finals a lot more understandable. I can go back and see the actual mind games. Like hearing that you said that Bleed did mid parry to low parry on you in winners finals, that's insane. Totally missed that when I watched it.
Yeah. There's like a lot of it was really cool because it was like after I played it, a lot of people would assume you reset the bracket, you lose the major or whatever, you'd be mad. But like I was pretty happy. This is a fun set. But the thing that I heard the most online and offline is just like it was just a really fun set to watch. And it's like for me, that's really cool because it's like the top 8 could have just been ass, right? It could have been like a billion Yasuos, a billion Echoes, and everyone's just doing like very, very like standard layer 1 broken thing. But like even without knowing what me and like Bleed were doing, for example, like it was still pretty crazy and dramatic. But now you can watch that and be like, whoa, these dudes are like really fighting each other. Like they know what's going on with like each option and then like targeting it, right?
Hell yeah. Okay, I think that's a lot of info to chew on. My eyes have been open for sure. Is there any last like super busted broken thing you want to show off with your team? I just the most grimiest mix. Like, is there anything you can think of just to show off, to leave the people chewing on something to think about?
Okay,
when we wrap this
I'll
up.
show you another install because this is another common install Uki scenario.
Okay.
So let's say we're like right here. Let's put. You've seen the lob Uki install, but now there's a different option select that will beat forward roll, tech in place, and back roll. Right? Just block holding back. Yeah, because I was doing this people all day and they didn't know what was going on. Yep.
What just happened? Wait.
So
that wasn't a high low. Right? Yeah, I was holding back. Yeah. That was not a high low. What happened there?
That was a left right. You got crossed up meaty by the orb. So what's going on, right? So you can just block. Just don't roll. Right? So I'm rolling behind you.
Right.
And instant TP cancel. So I'm rewinding my roll.
Chat, I'm blocking. I swear to God, I'm trying to block this. I'm holding back here on Wakeup, I swear.
Yeah, so I can choose like what side I want it to hit on, right? Because it's me or so yeah, so that's it looks pretty simple, but it's pretty good. Right? Bang. And then like I can so the layer 2 is like I can fake throw the ball because you want to parry there, right? Like you would, because parry you don't have to hold a direction. You can just like mash parry and get it. But then the layer 2 is like you still get left-righted by my roll, right? And I bait your parry and I kill you for it, right?
Why would the parry not work there? I didn't quite follow that one.
What I'm doing is I'm canceling the animation early and no ball comes out, right?
Oh, so then I just whiff parry. So you avoid the meaty projectile entirely, and then I just whiff parry and die.
And then you die. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. And then the other thing too is, right, so like just block standing for me. You can just block standing. So let's assume you hit the parry timing, because it's also really hard, right? So just block standing for me. I can blow up your parry by just teleporting going low.
Sure. Right.
And then, yeah, so that's like super duper layer 99, right? So then some people will think, well, why don't I just forward roll if back roll and neutral get up didn't work, right? So just forward roll for me.
Sure.
But it's okay. I can option select my roll into a throw and then auto throw you and get a combo.
So wait, so you're doing that roll chase down, but that wasn't you actually inputting anything different from a normal offensive sequence. It's the same inputs, and if I happen to roll, you're getting that different outcome because it's an option select.
Yeah, so basically, roll only comes out on down, right? Down S2. So I can do down back S2, I can do down forward S2, whatever, right? So the thing is, when you have clone out, right? Because you have a clone, because I'm in the super, the only way you can get roll is down forward, right? So what's happening is I'm doing down forward, I'm doing replay into down forward S2, which is the roll. Okay. But because you're behind me, I'm getting down back S2, so I'm not getting a roll, and I'm inputting throw, and I'm just back throwing you into the corner.
Okay, so it avoids getting the roll entirely because of the side swap we did.
Yeah. Yep.
Ah.
Yeah, because that's another really common scenario that happens where like this a lot of Ekko players don't do it, but like you can notice like your back is barely not in the corner, and then I can do something like this, right? Because then I can threaten the cross up, I can threaten the same side, I can option select it, right?
Wow.
And I just do all that with one swift input.
Those didn't say punish though. Is that a true? Can that be a true punish, or is that just
I just don't have my I just don't have my throw button mapped for whatever reason.
But like if done perfectly, it's just a legit
it's a punish.
Yeah. Wow. So basically, you're forced to kind of just guess left, right, and
you're
low.
Basically you're forced to hit the parry timing or you'll die. Basically.
So don't get baited by the early teleport to cancel the projectile. Meaty parry on the projectile, and then choose an option like maybe block, push block, or low parry, or jump something else and get out of there. Yeah. Yep. AKA hold that shit and die. That was a lot of grime. Noon, I want to say thank you so much for hopping on. You have opened my eyes to how broken this is, and confirmed that Ekko is definitely the most broken character in the game over Yasuo. I think you proved your point here. Thanks for hopping on, man. That was all really eye-opening, and good shit at Frostys. What's your next tournament?
Next major, I think for everyone, is going to be EVO Japan. So,
awesome. Well, thanks again for hopping on, man. Appreciate it.
Sir.
And best of luck in your tournaments, dude.
Yeah, thank you. See you later, brother.
Peace. Shout outs to Supernoon chat. That was a super sick session. I actually learned a lot. Hearing about the Parry Mind Game and how that actually operated on the Lob Oki is very eye-opening. If I knew more about that, I think I would have been losing my mind a little bit on the Bleed Supernoon sets. So that was cool. That was all selfish for me to learn a bit more about 2xKO and Ekko. And I think that primer is kind of needed. That was a lot of fun.